Momentum. Two passionate and busy moms sharing the quest to achieve entrepreneurial success.
Are we starting podcast number 4, 5, 6, whatever number we're on now?
Yeah, we might have to record some different intros or something. But I think this is podcast 4 for now.
Yeah.
4 for now.
4 for now. 4 for now.
We're still figuring it out. We haven't officially launched yet, but it's coming.
We're very close though, and we're very excited. This is gonna be great. It's gonna add additional momentum for us.
Oh yeah, we have our title. Did we announce it?
Momentum for you.
Momentum.
We are just one step forward. Every little step helps. Gives us momentum.
Yeah. So we've had a hard week. I mean, we were supposed to get together last week, and we didn't. And we've had a million things going on, and part of me doesn't want to talk about it. I want to act like every week we've gotten all this stuff done, but then the whole point of this podcast is to show what it's like as a mom to try and go after things, right?
To build a business in
the middle of everything else we're doing.
Exactly. Life is busy, and it's not going to get less busy for any of us, and we've got to just continue moving forward and focusing. Last week was a tough week for me as well, and I text Ariella a couple times throughout the week, and I don't know if it was the weather, to be completely honest. It was raining two and a half days
Which
last week.
I love that.
And it's funny, before the rain started, I was looking forward to it. I was looking forward to putting on my sweats and being at home and pounding out some work at home, but the weather just put me in a mood. Once it came, I just became very depressed. I started crying. I started contemplating, what am I doing? Did I make the wrong decision? And to be honest, I almost gave up on the whole dream, the whole idea. And then day 3, the sun came back out.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if the weather did affect you.
I'm a sunny person.
Yeah.
I need the sun. I need my vitamin D. I need that energy that the sun provides for me.
Yeah.
But those few days definitely made me realize I cannot live in Seattle.
Oh!
I was like, oh my gosh, what would I do there? Obviously, I would figure it out and get through life. But the weather really affected me. But not just the weather, the mindset, the journey that we're on, the journey that I'm on, it's overwhelming. And a day to day, you're either energized and excited about it and moving forward, or you stop and the fears hit you and you start thinking, oh my God, what do I do? What did I do? What am I doing? What's, because it's a very exciting and fearful time at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
and how many weeks has it been at that point? How many weeks had it been since you quit your job?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that, because part of my recovery process through here, I really had to go back and build a timeline for myself and go, okay, from step 1, the decision, to now, what has happened? What momentums have I built? And I wrote everything down. I was like, wow. Yeah. I really have done a lot in the last 5 weeks.
Yes.
I mean, I started to get excited when I saw all the things that I've done. And sometimes you have to do that. You just have to pause for a minute, reset your mind, jot things down, journal if you need to, and, figure out the next steps for moving forward. So I did that. And the last day of work was September 29th.
Okay.
You and I met for the first time October 17th.
Oh, wow.
And, I mean, I wrote everything down. And I just, to see even what you and I have accomplished in such a short time is amazing.
I really think you're hitting on something. I think we should have a list of accomplishments. I think everyone out there should have a list that they keep going. You know how we have to-dos every day and we check them off. But if there's something that it's some checklist thing that we have that goes towards one of our goals, maybe once we check it off, we put it on we have accomplished this list. Maybe we should make this available.
Yes.
Make something pretty, an accomplishment list, because I think we need to read them. We forget about this. I forget all the things that we've done.
Yeah.
If I see it and I see that I have made progress, then it makes it feel like it counts, like we are moving, like we are having the momentum that we're trying to have.
Exactly.
Yeah. And last week was really tough with me. I have 5 kids, which means any day something can go wrong. Kids are home from school sick. We have doctor's appointments, physical therapy for one kid, all these different things that I'm having to deal with. And last week was a particularly hard week. Different kids had different issues. Some were more serious than others. Nothing I could have planned for. And I got through the week. I was able to teach my students. I got everybody where they needed to go, but I didn't have time for this. And I also started to lose the mindset for it because I felt so frustrated because I just wanted to do it. I think I said it in one of our previous podcasts. I was working on editing last week and that was fun. But I wish I could just go away and then come and work on all of this and then come out as a new product because I know what I need to do, but I genuinely don't have time to do it.
Yes, you have a big family, lots of responsibilities, and and I have one son, but we also have a whole basketball team. They're like a second, family.
I'm not saying me over any other mom. I think every mom is full time already.
Yes, but my point is, whether you have 5 kids or
Exactly.
1 kid, it's just a matter of figuring out every day what you need to do as a mom and for yourself as an entrepreneur, as a wife, as a husband if you're out there, and whatever responsibilities you have. We just got to figure out how to get through every day and what the biggest priorities are. And sometimes it is our family. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it is business. If you're working a 9-to-5 job, there are days you have to take off because your kid's sick.
That's right.
And so sometimes you have to do that as a business person as well.
And it's making that choice. There's that guilt choice. Like at night, for example, when dinner is done, I do have some time that maybe I can go in the studio and record something, but then I feel like I'm letting my husband down or I'm letting my kids down because that's the time that we all hang out together. Yeah. So now I'm sitting and I'm watching some TV show that I'm half into or half not into, but if I'm in the studio, I'm missing out and I'm not there and I don't want them to remember that. So it's a really hard balance to come. And then by the time that's all over, I am tired.
Yes.
I get tired.
Yeah.
And it's hard because, I'll be in the car and I'll be listening to one of our videos. We're listening to these Tony Robbins. Inspirational business talk videos. And I get all into it and my brain is going and I'm driving in traffic and I have all these ideas and I say, I'm gonna do a live event and I can see it. Boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden, I'm like picking up my kids and then they need to go this place and somebody's AirPods are broken. They have to make an appointment at the Apple store. Just little things, but I'm responsible for all those things.
Yes.
And it does, as are you. And it's, someone needs new basketball shoes. I can't let them down. It's like, I got to go buy the basketball shoes. It's so, a part of me really wants to be sent away to my studio and not have to come out for 8 hours, for a few weeks and really get this going.
Yes.
It's frustrating.
Yes, it is. But, and one of the things that Tony Robbins does talk about is there's no net time, no extra time. Mm-hmm. And it's the in-between times that, we have that we can listen to podcasts. We can listen to these inspirational, motivational things. Yeah. We can, participate in a challenge through Facebook or something. Yeah. Modules, listen to, even reading a book or something. It's the in-between times that we have for ourselves to carve out to do these things. Yeah. You and I were planning a whole bunch of stuff while basketball practice is happening and she and I are walking around the track just talking, and that's another time where we could be listening to some of the modules and some of the things that we need to be doing. Yeah. So it's those in-between times we have to create the opportunities to move forward.
Yeah. And that's, I feel like I have the time to listen to the stuff and to maybe think a little bit about the stuff, but actually do the stuff and be the person that people are going to count on. Mm-hmm. Like, am I going to have the time to follow through for that? And that's where I'm feeling like I see it. I can see myself doing these big events at hotels and for all these mommies that want to get in touch with their singing voices or, all these ideas I have, but I need to be able to schedule that and do it 100% without completely ignoring my family.
Yes.
And what if that week one kid gets sick and one kid has a birthday party that needs to be planned and one kid gets injured or whatever, it's just, I was feeling a little overwhelmed this week, I gotta say.
Yeah.
As were you.
I think we both were in different ways, for sure. And, after I did the timeline, the next thing I did was to create goals and to create a plan.
Girl.
Pull out the appointment book and schedule things and figure things out. Part of my journey is I've got 3 things going on.
Yeah,
I'm trying to keep 3 balls up in the air all at once. I would love to just focus on one at a time, but the opportunities for the other 2 are presenting themselves at the same time. Yeah. So it's so difficult to pick and choose right now. One of the big things for me is, one of the foundations that I want to build, there's going to be a lot of donations and sponsorships and volunteers and staff and all sorts of stuff I'm going to need to build and create. But I didn't want to pass up the opportunity of Giving Tuesday. Yeah. It's right around the corner. Ooh. So I have to at least create a campaign for that. And then maybe set it aside a bit for to focus on one of the other 2 after that, and then get back to it. So
it's a good plan. I mean, no matter what, it'll get you started. Even if you don't bring in that much money yet, you will have it in place. And think of next Giving Tuesday, right?
Getting the message out. Just pushing myself to make this public and to get the message out of what is needed to build the foundation. I'm going to need a lot of support, not just financially or monetary, but the staff, the volunteers, the connection to the hospitals, the patients themselves, just getting the word out for how people can come together as a community and help.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, that's going to push you. You don't have a lot of time on that one, though. That's going to put something together. Just slap it all together. I mean, it's going to be better than not having done it at all, right?
Yeah. And like you said, we are finding the time to listen and figure out what we need to do, but it's taking the action steps. Yeah. And I've participated in a couple of Zoom calls, meeting calls where they talk about a Giving Tuesday campaign, and I've already participated in those. I've got all my notes down. I even have a rough draft of my letter going out. So I have created momentum there as well. Yeah. But now it's just planning out the steps for that week, and what day what's going to go out, and connecting to the platform that's going to be able to collect the money. That's a big deal. That's going to be my top priority this week.
So that's all these things you have to set up, those logistics we're talking about, all those steps. Yep. Figuring it out. It'll be so simple for someone once it's done, but you have to figure out how to attach somebody's credit card going into your campaign and coming out and coming back to you. Yep. And all of it being, not suspicious at all, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And to be honest, we haven't talked a lot about the technical stuff that is involved in business. I have created my business license. Yeah. I got the business license. I got my EIN number. Yeah. So those 2 things are taken care of. I have not yet opened my bank account. So that's going to be priority this week as well. So those are the 2 things for sure that are on my to-do list this week. But I've also connected with places like the Valley Economic Alliance. There's business resource centers that I have reached out to last week as well. Because again, just coming out of that fog, I wanted to create whatever kind of momentum and focus that I needed to do in my next steps. Yes. And I know I need help. I don't have all the answers. I haven't figured everything out yet. That's part of this journey, where do we go? What resources do we use?
That's right.
So there will be lots of resources available to our listeners
as we're figuring it all out. Yeah.
Workshops and spreadsheets and all sorts of fabulous forms to share with our listeners.
Absolutely, which you guys will be able to download. Listening to you, Teresa, you have actually done quite a bit. You are not at the final product, but you have all these different branches right now, and you've been looking into all of them. You just got to put it all together. But you're not starting from scratch. I mean, you've done so much legwork already. So do that Giving Tuesday. Have a challenge. It's like, I'm here to support.
I know.
And, I need it too. And, we are also talking about we're at this time of year, we're almost at Thanksgiving. Our kids come out of school for a whole week. I don't know about your kid. Does your son?
Yes, the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so that's a whole week. That's interesting. I mean, I'm hoping we can do our podcast that we fit it in, but it's harder. Yeah. And then we've got a few more weeks to hold on to, and then we've got 3 weeks off for the holidays. that's going to be hard as well. And, but for me, for example, my CDs, Voice Lessons to Go, that's when everybody buys it as a gift. And these weeks right now are the most important always in my sales.
Yeah.
And I haven't been focusing on pushing the sales, and because I'm trying to do this thing and I'm trying to do that thing. And it's like, ugh, I feel like I'm getting things in place. And then by next year, I'm going to have it together. But I got to do whatever I can right now.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know what, Ariella, thank you for saying that about me. And it goes right back to you. You have been my momentum. You have been the one that...
Stop it!
This podcast would not have happened for another year if it were up to me.
I
but
can't believe
she
we're
was
doing
like,
it.
okay, we're starting Thursday. And I was
Yeah.
like, But I'm so glad we did. This has been awesome, and really, it's sharing the journey now.
Yes.
The beginning steps is what's so hard, and we want everyone to know it's possible, and what we're able to do. And I have to be honest. Part of what pulled me out of my funk last week was the fact the services I'm providing is exactly what people are going to need now.
Yes.
So if I wait till I get everything figured out and I push everything off to the beginning of next year, I'm doing a disservice to those people who need it.
That's really true.
And so for me, that's what's pushing me forward, and it's really forcing me to get these things put together faster than they normally would.
Yes, but you know what? There's never the right time. It's like, I keep comparing this to pregnancy, but it's like there's never a right time to have a kid. Yeah. There's probably never a right time to start a brand new business, or to have a challenge, or to have a Tuesday, Giving Tuesday, or some live event, because it's going to be scary no matter what.
Yeah.
You could always be better no matter what,
yeah.
but you will learn from it if you
yeah.
do it.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I'm not focusing on being perfect the first time. I'm just focusing on doing it.
Yes,
you
stood up so straight.
Better.
But you should have seen how she handled. She stood up so her spine went straight when she said, "I am not focusing on." But it's like a mantra in your head.
Yes.
I think we just have to do it. I mean, everything that we do can always be better.
Absolutely.
And think about when anytime I stand up and I talk, or I have a class and so many people are in awe that I did it, and I would have held back thinking I could have made it better. I could have done a little more research. I could have been more prepared. But the fact that I did it gave so much joy to all these people who didn't do it, who needed it.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you're talking about. We just got to do it. We just got to do it.
Yep. And
come on, mommies.
And not to worry about failure. If
yeah.
It's going to be as successful as it's going to be.
That's right.
I'm not going to focus on it not being successful.
Yeah.
It's going to be as successful as it's going to be. And I just have to move forward with that. One of the, Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, she always talks about around the dinner table. Her father used to tell her all the time, "What did you fail at today?" And it encouraged her to continue trying. And she would come home excited about telling him something she failed at. But it meant she tried it. She did it. That's and that was such a powerful message that he taught his kids, and that she's been able to share with the world. And it just reminds me, even if it's not perfect, you just got to do it. And, if you do fail, you learn something from it to fix it the next time.
Teresa, I don't know what happened to me last week. I mean, I know what happened. There were some things that went on with my kids, and it threw me off. It threw off my energy. But a week and a half ago, I totally felt like that, like what you just said. I really felt like we just got to do it. I'm just going to go for it. This is me now. I'm going to do this. And these things happen as a mom, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't. It's like your feet are in sludge or tar, and you're trying to take these steps forward, and you want to do it. But there's things you cannot control. And this is what the podcast is about for me. And it's funny because we never planned on having this podcast. Mm-mm. We both have these dreams that have nothing to do with each other, but we realize that we are both going through the same experience trying to get there. Mm-hmm. And
completely different outcomes, but the same journey.
Right, and
same
so many
steps.
mommies, so many mommies that we talk to feel like this. And it's just... It's so hard because, some days I'm all into it and I know I can do it. And then there's weeks where I'm just like, I can't. It's like somebody's putting their foot on my head. And so this creature who wants to fly and go do these things, she just can't fly. And I think it's a real thing with being a mommy, especially when you have really little kids. I mean, our kids are growing up now, but sometimes it's near impossible.
Yeah.
Near impossible.
Yeah. Well, and you do have an age range that you have here at home. I know. And for me, mine is a little older.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the holidays, I can feel and I can hear how busy this house will be over those weeks, and I completely understand that's going to take time away from you. But for me, I'm thinking, great, I'm going to have more time because I'm not having to drive him to and from school every day and do all these extra stops that I need to do throughout the day. And mine is old enough to be, self-sufficient.
Yes.
So I could be like, okay, I'll see you later today and take care of stuff. So it has become a little easier for me now than it was when he was little. Because I to be honest, I tried to start some businesses back then too, and I just didn't have the energy. Right. I really didn't have the energy.
Yeah. Well, that's a deep pause, a deep sigh for us.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there feeling similar things, and we're here to tell you that we're here to help you and support you through this, and you can do it. We all can. It's just putting our minds to it and taking the action steps, one action step at a time, one big step at a time.
Yes. Sometimes they're little, but I think we should track them.
I say big because everything we do is big.
Oh yeah.
It can feel like a little step, but it's truly a big step that you're taking, and so yes, just focus on the next thing you need to do. But that next thing will build more and more momentum for you.
And I think if you can get a buddy, because Teresa, if you wouldn't have come today, I don't know when the next time would have been that I would have felt that I had enough brain space to get back to this. Yeah. And I so wanted to say, because I have a family member coming in town at the end of the week, and I got to prepare my house, and all these things you have in your head. But I knew that if you came, even though I didn't feel ready and not everything's together, I knew if you came, it would be beneficial. And it's such a huge difference than doing everything alone, which I've always done.
Yeah.
That's why think of us as your buddies out there, mommies. And hopefully we can get some sort of community growing here. But we really do need to support each other with all of this.
To have an accountability partner, just somebody you can check in with, bounce ideas off of. But remember that this is your journey.
That's right.
And what you feel in your heart is right is probably the best thing. But it does help to talk to somebody about it.
Yeah.
And help move you forward.
So I'm glad we connected today. I know we have a lot we want to work on and talk about. And it's such a great, it's like a restarting point. I think every time we meet, we're just going to restart, and it's like a jump start, like when your battery doesn't work. Yeah. And that's what we need. It's just like having a personal trainer, Yeah. And let's see what we can do this week. I'm really excited. I'm going to go and make a list of accomplishments.
Yes.
I encourage you guys out there to do that.
Yes.
And really think of what your accomplishments are. Sometimes as simple as like my first day when I went and I bought myself a journal and I decorated it because I wanted to be like, this is my journal. I'm going to take action in this journal. Something as simple as that actually was a first step for me.
Yes. Oh, my phone's ringing. That's the alarm.
Well, thank you so much for listening to us. Go out there, have that momentum, and sometimes we're gonna have great news, and sometimes we're gonna have days like this where we're just struggling, right?
Yep. But we're all here to support each other. Hopefully, in this big community that we're building, we can all help support each other. I did create our Facebook page, so there will be a place for us to all go and share ideas, share comments, share successes, share joys, share it when you're struggling.
That's right.
The community is here for you to help you through and help you take that next step.
And we will probably be able to get a lot of great ideas from your ideas. So if you have something you're going through, please post it on the page. We're going to be reading everything you write, and we'll talk about it sometimes, because I'm sure a lot of what you're going through, we're going through.
Yes. Until next time, everybody, keep that momentum going.
Keep it going.
Momentum. Two passionate and busy moms sharing the quest to achieve entrepreneurial success.